children are born, we have so many hopes for the future. We watch over their early years, we foster strength, and we encourage their growth. We only want them to be happy, prosper in the world, and have a loving relationship and build families of their own. And today, for Richard's parents, Hayden and Jane, and Lucy's parents, Tom and Daff, this is one of those very happy days, seeing the fulfilment of their roles as parents. I ask you to join me in celebrating and acknowledging and honouring this special day and the vows that Richard and Lucy will be making. By your presence, you witness and affirm the truth of their love and commitment to each other. This occasion also provides an opportunity for all of you to stop and appreciate the love and friendship you experience in your own lives. Take a moment to recall the special people who make up part of your lives. Think of them with appreciation and gratitude. The ceremony acknowledges the support and love from you, your family and friends. It celebrates unity and is the family. Welcome. And also, I need to introduce myself. I'm Kirsty, and I'm here today as the marriage celebrant to make this marriage legal. Thanks for coming. You can take a seat. Right. Richard and Lucy, you have come here today because you believe that being together, your lives are better and more productive than being apart. You will say heartfelt words, you will laugh and cry, you will dance and sing, and above all, you'll celebrate your love with blessings of families and friends. You bring shared dreams which tie you together, the seeds of your future, out of which you will grow your future life together. The secret of love and marriage is to be in love and to trust and to know in your hearts out of which you only want the best for each other. It takes dedication to stay open to one another, to learn and grow when it is difficult to do so. And it takes faith to go forwards together without knowing what the future holds for you both. This is your day, a day you will always remember in your lives. And being here today, we share with you in your happiness and the witnessing of your marriage vows. At the end of the ceremony, you will be husband and wife. May you have happiness and may you find it making one another happy. May you have love and may you find it in loving one another. Right, Richard and Lucy, you're about to make promises to each other that you intend to keep. You're going to promise to take care of each other, stand up for one another and find happiness in one another. Richard, will you take Lucy as your wife? From this day forward, better for worse, for richer for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish to the end of your days?
I do.
And Lucy, do you take Richard as your husband from this day forward, for better for worse, for richer for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and cherish till the end of your days?
I do.
Thank you. Right, would you like to hold each other's hands? Okay. As you hold each other's hands, I would like to remember these are the hands of your best friend, young and strong and full of love for you. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you through the years. These are the hands that will hold you when fear and grief fills your mind. These are the hands that will wipe the tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow, tears of joy. These are the hands that will help you hold your family as one. These are the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And lastly, these are the hands, when wrinkled with age, will still be reaching for yours, still giving the same unspoken tenderness, just with a simple touch. Right, press okay. Richard and Lucy, this is the moment of the day when you make your promises to each other, thereby forging the bonds of marriage and becoming husband and wife. These promises are not to be entered into lightly, but in the belief your marriage will be a lifelong partnership based on love, trust, and understanding and forgiveness. And as you join hands, you are also joining hearts, and now you join your lives. Richard, if you could repeat after me. Lucy, I love you.
Lucy, I love you.
Today I give myself to be your husband, and I take you to be my wife.
Today I give yourself to me to be my husband and to be my wife. Along the lines, sort of, isn't it? We'll shorten the sentences, I reckon.
I said the important part.
Good.
Whatever life may bring, I will love you and care for you always.
Whatever life may bring, I will love you and care for you always.
Lucy, if you'd repeat after me, please. Richard, I love you.
Richard, I love you.
Today I give myself to be your wife, and I take you to be my husband.
Today I give myself to be your wife and for you to be my husband.
Whatever life may bring, I will love and care for you always.
Whatever life may bring, I will love and care for you always.
And Richard and Lucy have also written some of their own vows, of which Lucy would like to go first.
Richard, I promise to never be jealous of your eyelashes. I promise to only brag once when I beat you on a Strava segment. I promise to try and pronounce my I's and my E's better. I promise to not mock your £10 Casio watch. I promise to always have goals, never be boring, and always be striving forwards. I promise to stand with you on a mountain and promise to bathe with you in the sea.
Right, and Richard's.
I vow that every year we will go on a cool new adventure and make some stories. I promise to get hangry only once a week. I vow to allow you to practice your hobby of baking and cooking on a daily basis and never try and intrude and take over. I promise that in 10 years I will not have the same clothes I have now, apart from my Casio. I promise to give you the life you deserve, to look after you, to listen to you, to support you in whatever pursuit you choose, and make sure I love you more and more every day. And I promise that when we're all old and creaky, we have some awesome stories from a fun and loving marriage.
Right, do we have the rings? Okay. The gifting of the ring is a physical symbol of the solemn vows that you make to each other in becoming husband and wife. In wearing them, they will constantly remind you of the sacred promises you will make to each other and the pride and the joy you are feeling today. Richard, please repeat after me while you're putting the ring on Lucy's finger. Lucy, I give you this ring
Lucy, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
my vows and respect for you,
my vows and respect for you,
and with all that I am and all that I have.
with all that I am and all that I have.
Is it going to go on?
Too many chips and dip. Perfect.
Right. And Richard's ring. Right, Lucy, repeat after me while putting the ring on the finger. Richard, you are my life, my love, and with this ring I marry you.
Richard, you are my life, my love, and with this ring I marry you.
I pledge myself to you from this day forward and for all eternity.
I pledge myself from this day forward and all eternity.
Right. Richard and Lucy, we have witnessed your commitment to each other and acknowledge your intentions to live the rest of your lives together. May you always have patience in times of distress, devotion for one another, and tenderly care for each other's needs. May your love increase so that you continue as you are today, happy to be in love and married. By the powers vested in me as a marriage celebrant, it is a great pleasure that I now declare you husband and wife. Richard, you may kiss your bride.
Mad, huh? I love you so much.
3 for good luck.
Right, families and friends, as you'll be aware, it's not legal until we have signed the marriage licence. So,
Hello everyone, I hope you've all had enough pie in your cuckoo. Just before we start the speeches, Rich has brought something to our attention that there is a couple of people that Lucy has had past flings with in the crowd, and it turns out they all have a key to her flat. So we're all just wondering if maybe everyone could please, one by one, bring the key up, and then the couple can get back to their beautiful marriage evening. Thank you.
now I wish you a very happy and fruitful marriage. So that brings us to the next part where I'd like to invite the father of the bride to share a few words. Please.
Right, I've got a few notes here. I have got quite a loud voice, so I might be better possibly without this microphone.
Keep it up there. Keep it up there.
Her Royal Highness, Lucinda Emma Johnson. Very strong. Sounds very upmarket. I was responsible for naming her Lucinda, which she hates. But it was after the English show jumper way back in the 1970s. They said Lucinda Fryer Palmer. They remember her name. Some of you were at a farewell party we had for Lucy. I'll go down that low. A few years ago, when I did say that Lucy, go away and have your OE and don't come back until you find a rich English farmer. Come back. Well, but an Englishman. Pretty rich. So she came back with a physio. But he does play rugby and he does drink beer. So he's a pretty good guy as far as I'm concerned. Well, we better get on to a few Lucy stories. We've got 4 here. When the very first time I think that I babysat Lucy, she was about 2 years old. Panic set in. All round the house I looked, no Lucy. Outside the section, ran around the house, no Lucy. She just literally disappeared. Dad had gone down the road to something, buy something, whatever. And Lucy had decided she'd follow Mum down the road. So a lot of you know where Piper Place is. She'd gone down Piper Place, down Bartlett Street, almost to the main Vogel Street. Luckily for me, someone saw her running down the street, picked her up and brought her back about 10 minutes later. And I was relieved. birds and in fact terrified of any animals coming within about 2 metres of it. So that's Lucy and the non-farm situation. Moving on another 4 years from that, around about 8 years old, when we went to the timeshare in Taupo, we had bikes that we used to have bike trips around the trail on the edge of Taupo Lake itself. And one year, Tammy, Lucy and me were biking, and I was following Lucy. We'd been out to the island where as far as we used to bike. On the way back, Lucy just suddenly veered off the trail and just came off the bike into a huge patch of blackberries. As if she was going into the river. It was amazing. Just in front of me, she just turned over into these blackberries and just screamed and couldn't get out of them. It was one of those situations where you think, well, she ain't going to be a bike rider. Some of you in-laws here will remember about 10 years later when she was a teenager, certain members of you got her drunk and she was walking down Mobile Street nearby trying to find home and suddenly keeled over and head-butted into a concrete fence. She knows who the culprit is, and that's probably not the other scars that she's got on her head. So there you go, we know she bounces well there, Lucy. Just some short words of wisdom to the two of you. I myself am from a broken family, as you probably know, and it was not nice learning to meet one of my mother or father at 15 years old for the first time. So if you are going to do things together for the long-term future, then make sure that you stick together, that you respect each other's opinions. Beth and I have been probably to about 20 weddings in the last 20 years. We only actually know of one that is held together. So just beware of problems that Lucy and I have not always seen eye to eye. Really? Yes. Probably in the first 15 years she was my best friend, and since then things have gone downhill. People do say, some of you who are here, that the two of us are so much alike. Well, I don't like myself. However, I must say, today it's gone pretty well so far, and Lucy has been the chief organiser of everything here, and I think Mitch will acknowledge that. He's been away overseas, and so far she's done the whole lot herself, and it's been a magnificent day, and we're really happy that Lucy has done it well. So a round of applause. Just to finish, to the Johnson family, welcome into our family. We're really pleased to have you all here. And some of you have travelled in difficult times. Phil and his family, it's taken a long time to get here, but we're really pleased that you made it, and we're more than happy to accept you into our family. So well done. I was going to mention a story. There's a few people nodding.
See if you can hear me okay. And it's great to listen to what Thomas has said there and all these lovely words about Richard. No, I don't have any lovely words about Richard. So I've got a lot of lovely words about Lucy. Let's make a start. Let's see how we go. Let's take a run at it. Let's see how we go. So I'm Hayden, wife's Jane, and we are very lucky to be the proud parents of Richard. We'd like to say how delighted, first of all, on a more serious note, how Jane and I were so pleased when Lucy and Richard announced they were going to get married. And it was great to hear, and we were totally thrilled to this. Apart from that, what we have? Hello? Hello. Stand on the step. And also, as I started, it's a welcome excuse for us to be able to leave England during a rather dark, chilly November and to be here in a much more pleasant and interesting country. Being at the wedding is a great privilege for us to be, and we'll be able to share all these days leading up to the wedding and the wedding with Lucy, her friends, and her family. Richard and Lucy met when they were both in Germany. And I'm sure while Richard was there for a long time, we brought back happy memories for him. Because Richard was there with us as a family until 29, when Richard was only 2 years old when we actually moved there. When we were there. And then Jane and I met Lucy the first time in July 2015, which was very memorable. Because they'd just ridden back from Turkey, arrived in Newcastle in England, and Lucy was on the back of Richard's motorbike. Lucy was kicked down on the bike with others, and the helmet, and this lady, came off the motorbike, and she was so cheery and happy, and it's like a breath of fresh air, bearing in mind what the journey had been. And she made light of the 3,000 kilometre journey that they had just completed. Obviously, Richard had convinced Lucy this was the best way to travel this time. However, as things have progressed, I've come to the conclusion this was just the test run of their first mammoth journey, without a doubt. At the beginning of 2017, Jane and I were holidaying. We travelled to New Zealand, and we travelled to Auckland and Rotorua, and then we met Daphne and Tom at Lake Talbot. We were so pleased to meet them, and we were able to see and hear about where Lucy has spent lots of her family holidays. And it was a beautiful bay. I didn't realise it was a lake, I thought it was a sea, just so big, but never mind. But it just shows, we've got a lot to learn. And then later we met Lucy and Richard in Wellington. We were staying there, and we were treated to a few days of being really well looked after. We had guided tours, cycling and walking, and it was perfect weather. And it was so Wellington in all its glory. It was a lovely city. Later, on the occasions when Lucy has been staying at our house in England, when our grandchildren have been visited, Lucy involves them whenever she can. We're doing fun things to do. They play games and they help with the cooking and various other things. And the children have taken to this big time, and it's now become the main attraction. So when they are asked to visit Grandma and Grandpa's, the first question they ask is Lucy there? Will she be there? Now, we have to think that Jane and I, we've been demoted in the crowd. And we have to accept it, the older you get, the less popular you are. That's the way it is. That's life, so there we are. It's clear that Lucy's attraction to the outdoors, her very cheery personality, infectious humour, and the love of the family life have been a perfect match for Richard. And they do see, to put it quite simply, eye to eye, and that's the way it is. And we're so pleased to welcome Lucy into our lives. Over the recent months, Richard has been living with us on his own as a house guest. These are his words, not ours. It's always busy, it's always active, but it's not boring. And it helps to keep us oldies on our toes. especially anything to do with our mobile phones, technology, all that sort of stuff. At this stage, similar to what Tom was saying, it's appropriate, and we have to pass on some words of advice, I don't know, to bride and groom. So we'll have a go at these and see what you think, Adam. Right. Now for the bride, these are the words of advice that I've learned over the years. A happy man marries the girl he loves. A happier man loves the girl he marries. And then for the groom, this is quite simple. This is very, very simple. 2 short phrases, which are quite simply, I understand, and you're right. And advice for both, this is when things get a bit hectic and, you're setting up your home and you've got all sorts of things, work issues, and you've got to remember 3 simple words are, let's go out. You've got to do that. Or, on a more serious note, it's family first, always. So, moving on, and that's it. I'd like to say that on behalf of Jane and myself and our family, I would like to thank Daphne, Tom, and all that contributed and worked extremely hard to make this a very special day, and it made us all feel so welcome as visitors to this lovely country. The times ahead will no doubt be exciting and busy for Lucy and Richard, and as we have seen, they work well as a team. And I'm sure that whatever as life unfolds in front of them, they'll be able to cope with it, which is encouraging. Anyway, that's it. Thank you all for listening, and I'm sure we all want to enjoy the rest of the evening. So thanks a lot, and good night.
Thank you, Hayden. And I will definitely reinforce that there is nothing more powerful than I understand. Which brings us to the man of the hour, the one we've all been here to see, Mr. Richard Johnson.
Oh, it's quite daunting, this, I'm going to be honest. So before we start, can we all make sure we have a full glass in front of us? I don't want to get halfway through the toast and you're all pretending to sip away, so get a full glass in front of you. So my side of the speech is very easy. I make sure I thank everyone who's made this day what it is. Then I tell you all what you already know. How lucky I am, and how amazing this is. It should all be relatively easy. Bear with me with a thank you, right? The first people I'd like to thank is Norbert, who's the venue host here. He's not here right now, but he's made this day so easy for us, and as you can see, it's absolutely amazing. Second person is Trish, who's been the caterer in her team, and the food's been delicious. They've been so attentive. So we could raise our glasses to the venue host. Very good. Now you'll all notice throughout the day, there's lots of little things that made the wedding as it is. Table decoration, stuff for the ceremony. That stuff doesn't happen overnight and by elves. Apparently, so I'm told. I have no idea. This is obviously, as Tom said before, Lucy and her many, many helpers, too many to name here, have made this day what it is. On a side note, if you are going to get married and you want to duck out of any responsibilities, do it in another country because it makes it very easy. So we could raise our glasses to the wedding elves. Now a beautiful venue, and some lovely food is good, but today would not be what it is without you fine people. And it may sound like a cliche, and I've been on the other side when the groom said this, but you guys really do make the day. And it was so important that you're all here to celebrate Lucy's big day. We wanted to make sure. Sorry, I know my place. We really do understand how much effort you guys have all made to be here. New Zealand, over from Australia, South Africa, England, and incredibly Ireland. It's absolutely amazing. We are really grateful. You've had to juggle kids, work. Some of you have needed your carers to be here as well. So thank you very much. So we can all grab your glasses, cheers to the people around your table, and thank you to the guests. Now you would have noticed at the ceremony we had the fastest and cutest 2-year-old in the world. And interestingly, she is only one of 3 people in this room whose nation has been in England and New Zealand at rugby this calendar year. At least ours wasn't at home, though, that's embarrassing. I am, of course, talking about my beautiful niece, Harriet, so we've got a little present to give you guys once we go away, but thank you very much to Harriet for making it all a lot more fun. So good old cheers to Harriet. Super. Lightweight. Okay, at the ceremony, as we were going through, I overheard a few of you commenting on the new addition to my hand. I'm not, of course, no, not the Casio. It is good though. I am, of course, talking about my ring. And I was very fortunate to have a friend of ours make this for us, and it means so much to us, Ben. I know you're blushing there, man, but honestly, it's so cool to have a friend of ours make this, and it means a huge deal to both of us. So we can all raise our glasses to the ring maker. You would have also noticed we've been very fortunate today to have two of our friends play some music for us at the ceremony and reception. Soon. One of them has already played. Pressure's off. Honestly, Pete and Rico again, the same thing. It's so good to have our friends involved in this as much as we can. It means so much to both of us that you played. It's very, very cool. So we're going to have a double toast to the musicians. There's still time for it. And you would have noticed today has run very smoothly, and you've all been shepherded around where you needed to go, and that's been due to our two Master of Ceremonies. And we wanted to obviously have our friends involved again. So Liv, the DJ, it's awesome that you guys are doing. We're both very grateful. We wanted to make sure we had our friends and two people who have obviously already married and happy, successful marriages who would offer some advice to us. But to be honest, the big reason we tried to pick a combination that wasn't going to get too drunk during the day. How do we do? Yeah. To the MCs. Okay, we're going to move up to the top table thank yous now. Top one. So, Tammy, the prop ones. Tammy, Kim, you guys look absolutely amazing today. Like sisters should be. You three would do absolutely everything for each other, and you've always been there for Lucy, and I know it means a huge deal that you're here for her today. I'm sure she'll touch on it in a bit. But from me, I want to say thank you for doing all the stuff behind the scenes, and for doing the absolute impossible of getting her somewhere on time. I have failed miserably many years, so you're going to have to tell me your secrets, and you both do look absolutely beautiful today. I am going to stop now because I can see Lance getting quite territorial over there. So we could raise our glasses to the bridesmaids. Okay, so next I'd like to thank my mum and dad. It's obviously, since you met Lucy that first time up in the tomb, as we came off Madonna, you've been absolutely amazing with her. And this has carried on all the way to now. Mum, you must have predicted at some point there was going to be a non-England based wedding, and at one point we just try and sabotage it, so thank you very much for that. Leading up to today, you guys have been so chilled and so easygoing with everything, and for my brother and sister to hear that might be quite a shock, but you really have, and it means so much to both of us that you're here today. I also want to take this opportunity to thank you for everything you've done with me. There's no way I can put it into words, or especially a paragraph or whatever. I'm very lucky I know I am, and you've given me everything I've done today. So thank you very much for that. So good raise our glasses to Jonas Hayden. That was a smidge preemptive, because I've got one final bit that carries on to the next, and I have to get back to them, unfortunately. I've been fortunate enough for the past 31 years to have first-hand exposure to an amazing marriage. And if me and Luce get to a fraction what you guys got, I'll consider that a success. So thank you very much. We'll do another cheers. We'll go on. Yeah! So from one perfect example of marriage to another, Tom and Dan. When I first came to Palmy, I was nervous as hell coming up to your house. It had nothing to do with being at Palmy. I was just real nervous coming in, but you guys were real welcoming and kind to me. And this has continued throughout our whole time that I've been in New Zealand. And my parents will be so glad to see that I've been looked after, because they know I need looking after. Tom, thanks very much for your kind words today, and especially the kind words when I spoke to you on the phone when I asked for your blessing. It really means a lot to me and to us that you sort of approve of this marriage. And for a man who threatened to never bring a pom home when she came back, you've been nothing but kind and fair to me. So thank you very much. Daphne, I remember when I first met you, when we were in Germany, before me and Luce were together. If I'd known then that we were going to be where we are now, I probably wouldn't have acted such a prat that minute. I say probably, because some things can't change. Well, I would have tried a bit harder probably. You've been fulfilling the role of mother-in-law for the past 3+ years. You've been supporting me at sporting events, looking after me, knitting me Hurricanes beanies and filling me up with Dutch desserts all the time. So thank you very much. Both of you have been absolutely amazing. And to the wider Walraven and Nottingham family, thank you very much for welcoming me. I know you've done it with gritted teeth as an Englishman, but you have been very, very kind. So thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And not that Lucy needs it, but I promise to both of you that I will always look after her and give her a loving marriage. And as I said when I was leaving to UK, you never have to worry about it. I'll always look after her. So put hands up for Tom and Dad. And now on to the star of the day. So I'm going to be honest, when you were coming down, I had quite a few stupid jokes lined up when we were at the end. But you probably did take my breath away with how beautiful you are. So before we go any further, can we please toast to my bride, Lucy. And I've learned you don't like my jokes, so. So as you know, me and Lucy met when we were in Germany. And one of the first weekends that we went away with, there was a group of us, our friends, going away to Krakow. And I remember we were on this weekend away, and I was perving on Lucy. I was gazing. That's better, sorry. I was gazing over at Lucy, and I thought to myself, I said, wow, I would love a girlfriend like Lucy. But unfortunately, I knew she was out of my league, and I didn't have much hope. So then, I came up with a plan. It was a 2-part plan. Very methodical. So the first part was just a stalker, basically. Just plenty of FaceTime, being persistent, and just being around her a lot. And my thinking was that if I was around her enough, she would get so used to me being there, that when I wasn't there, she would miss me, and then want me to be there. I said I had a plan, I never said it was a good plan. The second part of my plan is one that has clearly been used in this room by a few men today. Matt, you've used it with Laura. Rico, I know you have. And Greg, it's obvious. Alcohol. I had the perfect setting of Oktoberfest in Munich. I'd have been playing my persistent stalking FaceTime tactic for a number of weeks. And now I just needed Lucy to get her big goggles on. Hopefully I can get myself a kiss. So after a few signs of Germany's finest Paulina, Lucy clearly took pity on me, and I got my first kiss. Yeah, that was a perfect. Now I'm going to have to be completely honest with you here. Even to this day, we aren't sure that we kissed that night. This isn't a romantic Disney story you'd all hope for. I'm sorry, Mum and Dad and Tom and Dad, but this is our story and we do quite like it, so we're quite happy with it. So what followed after a blurry kiss in Munich, and was clearly a sign for the future, was a few months of visa issues with England and Austria, but eventually Lucy took pity on me, and we were now somewhat of an item. Yeah, come on. But there came a point in our relatively fresh relationship where we had to make a decision. Luce had no more visa, she had to leave, and I had to make a decision. Do I leave the relationship as it was as a few-month fling or continue on to the other side of the world to carry on? And I've said this to you before, Luce, it was the easiest decision I've made. I had someone who's beautiful, loved sport, loved travelling, and loved adventures. It was an easy decision. This has only been confirmed further since we've been in New Zealand. our life is awesome. We do such cool stuff, it's never boring, and we always do new stuff. I know how lucky I am, it's awesome. So, to Tom and Daph. So Tom and Daph, Lucy is an absolute credit to your guys' parenting and upbringing. She's smart, confident, outgoing, and a perfect life partner and wife. I can't quite believe I've got you as my wife, Lucy. It's mad. All them years ago, in fact, I know how lucky I am. I love how you let me get away with it. I love how you let me, you support me with everything I do. And I can't imagine I would want to be anywhere, do anything else, do it with anyone else. I'm very much looking forward to spending the rest of my life with you, and the most important thing, bringing some awesome stories. So, the most important toast of the night, we will raise our glasses to my beautiful wife, Lucy.
The lady of the room, I'll invite Her Royal Highness Lucinda Johnson.
Hello. So obviously Richard has done a massive thanks to everyone, but I obviously wanted to say a few special thank yous to particular few people that have made a massive effort to get here today. So I just first off want to say everyone thank you. I know this was a very quick change in wedding plans, but it's made, as Richard said, it's made such a great day for everyone who could be here today. Everyone who's flown in, obviously it's a Monday, taken off work, visa situations and bits and pieces, it's made for such a special day, so thank you very much. First off to my new parents-in-law, Jane and Hayden, for creating such a massive trip down under again for the second time in 3 months, I think. The Southern Hemisphere. It's been so incredible that you guys could make it out at the drop of a hat, and myself and Richard are so pleased that you could be here today. I know Hayden, any chance to get away from England, you're fairly happy at that. So I know, but when you arrived back from South Africa and we said, oh, we're engaged and it's going to be very soon, I don't know how many people would be willing and able to come out at the drop of a hat like that. So thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers to you. To Richard's siblings, much of the same. It's obviously been such short notice, and I know for teachers it's not the easiest thing to do to get a Monday off, so thank you very much. And to Fran and Phil for lugging the family for a very long journey. It wasn't supposed to be that long, but it was incredible that you guys could be here, so I don't know how I will ever repay you guys for being here today, so thank you very much. Cheers to you. To my extended family, obviously it's all just been wedding talk for the last probably 6 weeks that you guys have been around, for all the drop-offs, pick-ups, any signs that needed to be made. It's been incredible. The creative input that you guys have suggested, it's been amazing, so I want to thank you so much because it wouldn't have been done without you as well. So, cheers. To my sisters, well, there's been a bit of a wedding overload this weekend, so poor Kimmy, sorry, now you know how to, sort weddings. To all the FaceTime messages back and forth, emails, photos sent, secret conversations, so Mum and Dad didn't know about another wedding. you guys have been incredible, so thank you so much. It's meant so much that you guys could stand by my side today. And, now we've got another celebration tonight and also tomorrow, Tammy's big 30th birthday, and I've put on a brunch for you, so well done, Pete. So cheers to my bridesmaids. Thank you. And finally, thanks to my mum and dad, obviously, for the incredible upbringing and opportunities that you guys have shown me throughout my whole life. I wouldn't have probably taken the opportunity to go out to Germany, and then I wouldn't have met Rich, just showing me and taking all the chances that we could to get away throughout our lives and during our upbringing, which was amazing. And so thank you for that. I know it means so much that you are here on our special day, and I know that if I can show Richard half as much strength and courage that you guys have shown, particularly over your marriage, but particularly over the last couple of years, I will be doing half my job as a new wife to Richard. So thank you, Mum and Dad. However, Dad Porterfield doesn't always do what she's told, does she? Dad did warn me off. I don't know where the Rich Farmer whole thing came in. I don't remember that, but Dad did warn me off bringing a bloody pom home. And so naturally, what did I go and do? I brought a bloody pom home. But he's not aware that he drinks beer and watches rugby, so it's not for Richard. So that's good. It's funny what you remember when you thinking back, like first meeting Richard, and I was kind of what was the first conversation? I remember at the offices meeting Richard after we had dinner, and he'd just come in as a new physio, and he was telling me about his time out in Thailand, and I was thinking, oh, that's really cool. He's been working out in Thailand for a couple of years. That's fascinating. I must get in touch with that guy, because he must have a lot of connections. And now it turns out his connections are now my connections as well, so that's pretty cool. Fast forward through 4 years together, 17 countries, a motorbike trip, which you guys have talked about, endless cycle adventures, sleeping under the stars, diving with whales. It's just been incredible. So, and a company started in the most recent times. I'm so looking forward to what the next few years bring. More than a few years. A lot of years bring. It's very exciting. Richard, today you made me the happiest girl alive. Your positive outlook on life, where nothing's unachievable, and everyone, you just got a go-getter attitude is incredible, and I'm so proud to call you my husband today. Even though your OCD nature does bug me at times, I know this is why you're so successful in anything that you do, and that's why I have no doubt that MJ, that's Mammoth Judy, not Michael Jackson, will be so successful, it will be incredible. You make me laugh every day, you challenge me, you inspire me, and you always look after me, even with these situations. So thank you for downing enough beer at Munich Oktoberfest, and now starting this whirlwind adventure that we now call marriage. So to Richard. Thank you.
Richard had originally asked a very good friend Patrick to donate his service to us. Unfortunately, Patrick wasn't able to make the trip over, and so he asked if I could stand in and say a few words. And his brother, I was of course delighted to do so. At this point, it is probably worth noting that Patrick is a young, dashing British explorer type who has spent his years tearing around the world in search of noteworthy and daring adventures and expeditions. Truly a man with a story for every occasion. I'm very unfit when I work in an office. I just want to manage expectations. I'd like to start by echoing a few sentiments that we've heard already in some thanks. Firstly to
and Daphne and the Nottingham family. Thank you for your gracious hospitality. Since we've come here and we've shown to our family, you live in a wonderful country, even if it is in the wrong hemisphere. And we're very grateful for it. I'd also like to thank Lucy and Rich, and it's clear to me now that it's mainly Lucy, for organising today. It's a tricky thing to get right, but you've clearly got it absolutely right today. In the last 2 days, it's been very befitting of you both, and so well done, Lucy. And an extension to that, thank you, Lucy. Thank you for taking Richard off our hands. As you heard, he's living with Mum and Dad still, so this is a step in the right direction. But we've heard an awful lot about you in the last few years, and Fran and I and the family are looking forward to spending a lot more time. And so to Richard. Richard was the youngest of our 4 siblings, and I think this position has shaped him into the man he is today. The adventures and expeditions that he has been on would make most men wince, and I don't say that lightheartedly. And in fact, not for the light-hearted would be a severe understatement for what Richard has accomplished in his life. I mentioned Patrick earlier, and I reached out to Patrick and spoke to him and asked a few sort of anecdotes and stories, all of which were entirely inappropriate to share in such a splendid setting, and so I won't. But the recurring theme, though, was of a man who, and it's such a, and I mean this genuinely, such a unique and rare quality, a man that makes ideas reality, and Richard does that. And it's a hell of a thing to be marrying into Lucy, and so I think you're very fortunate to do so. Daphne and I spoke yesterday, and I said, and we were talking about the men which her daughters have chosen. And Daphne's response was, I don't care where they're from, as long as they look after my daughter. And I can assure you that Lucy has chosen well. You will look after your daughter. He is respectful, he's very determined, and he's a very, very honest guy with a great deal of integrity. When Richard asked me to speak today, he gave me 2 very clear instructions. He said, keep it brief, and I said, okay. And then he said, you know, Phil, you've been married, just say a few words about what makes a happy marriage. And I said, that's a bit trickier, Rich. And it is. And we've heard tonight from people far, far wiser than I, with far greater experience, with their own words of wisdom. And I think they will share and bestow that wisdom on you through your life. But it did get me thinking. I thought, well, what does make a happy marriage? And so I asked some of my closest allies, and I had some very unconvincing answers. And so I thought about it more and more. And then it came to me. I had absolutely no idea what makes a happy marriage. I thought my wife would be putting children to bed right now. I have no idea what makes a happy marriage, and even if I could articulate any ideas, it probably wouldn't be applicable to you guys anyway. And I think that's the point. For this one, you have to work it out for yourself. What's challenging for me might be a breeze for you, and vice versa. But one observation I can share from my brief experience is that there's a reason that you guys are here today, and there's a reason you guys have brought us here all today, is because you've seen something in each other that makes that journey and makes that prospect a little easier, a little happier. And so I'd like to wish you all the best for a happy and long marriage, but I imagine there'll be some road bumps along the way. And I would hope that during those road bumps, when you're navigating those road bumps, just to remember why you brought each other here today. You see happiness and you see joy in each other. And so do remember that. And so without any further ado, I think we need one final toast to the bride and groom.